Picking which variety of vegetables to grow in the garden is a process that I almost always completely fail at. Picking between whether to grow tomatoes or beans is hard enough, but then mix in all of the different varieties there are and it's like instant analysis paralysis. And then there's the problem of running out of space. All of the different varieties, I just can't help but try something new that I come across. And if all of my transplants actually survive, I can't throw away a perfectly good plant. The end result is too many plants and not enough space. Today, I'm going to help you solve the age-old problem every urban gardener faces: space. With one simple adjustment, I can grow 14 times the amount of plants as this container here. Now, earlier in this series, I showed you exactly what to plant if I only had one pot. But today, we are going to increase our space and grow in tower gardens. This one simple adjustment will completely change your garden game and get you growing way more food. The possibilities are exponential with these vertical gardens. Instead of one meal and one head worth of broccoli, you can have 6 multiple meals. Instead of 2 or 3 meals worth of green beans, you can have enough for those meals plus extra to put away in the freezer for down the road. With one simple adjustment, I can take 3 plants and grow up to 42 different plants in the same square footage. I've been growing in these green stalks for a little over 4 years now, and there has been zero degradation, no warping, cracking, breaking, fading in any way. Now, there are lots of different vertical gardens at varying price points, but I really encourage you to do your research and make sure that they are going to last a long time, that they have an appropriate soil depth to actually get the plants the soil that they need, and that they have a good watering system with even water distribution. If you want to go with my tested and proven towers, then I will have a link down in the show notes for you to get an extra $10 off your purchase. If you decide to go with a green stock vertical garden or another tower system, I really encourage you to consider a soil-based system rather than a hydroponics tower. Now, for beginner to intermediate gardeners, they are way easier to manage and they are less costly. And when you look at the nutritional value of soil versus the hydroponics, the soil-based systems almost always have a higher nutritional value in the food that you harvest. Using a soil-based growing system rather than a hydroponic setup is an absolute no-brainer in my personal opinion. You know that saying, you are what your food eats? Yes, that applies to like chickens and cows and stuff, but it also applies to plants. And we might not think about it in the same way, but the plants are essentially eating the soil. All of the nutrition that they have inside of them comes from the soil. The minerals and the vitamins and all of the nutritional value has to come from there. That is why health and nutrition of the soil itself is absolutely critical in containers or tower gardens. There are a lot of plants gaining their nutrition from a pretty small amount of soil. Now, I've used and recommended Coast of Maine since the very beginning of my gardening journey and this YouTube channel. Do not judge the video quality. This was 6 years ago. The channel has grown a lot, as have I. But point being, I moved away from using Coast of Maine because I couldn't find it at local nurseries. But I recently found out that they have started carrying it at one of our local nurseries, but also at Ace Hardware. So you can pretty much find it anywhere you're at now, which is awesome. Now, their potting soil blend is light enough that you're not going to get compaction, retains moisture well, has all of the nutrition that those plants need for a 2 months of full growing season. Everything they need is in the bag. Now that we have the how to grow 14 times the amount of plants in the same amount of space, let's talk about the what. What are we going to put into the tower garden? Now, obviously, season is critical here in Florida and really everywhere in the country, but it is one of the 4 S's of growing food here in Florida: season. It's critical. Now, these crops that we're going to talk about today can be planted for the next couple of months, depending on where you are in the state. But if you're watching this and it's not the same time, spring, summer crop planting, then use my What to Plant When cheat sheet, which gives you all of the information you need to plant based on your area of Florida for the season that is appropriate. I also do have a seed club, a Florida Vegetable Seed Club, which mails the seeds to your door every 3 months so that you know exactly what to plant and when to plant it. It's definitely the easy button and is a great way to get used to growing year-round here in Florida.
For our bottom tier, I wanted to put mainstream muskmelon because it's a vine. My intention is by growing it on the bottom level, I can let the vines drape out across my patio and I won't have them falling on top of all the other plants growing above it. I'm also tucking some perpetual chard in the back here since it needs more shade.
In this tier, I just put in a little bit of perpetual chard, which is a leafy green. I put in celosia, which is another leafy green, and rat tail radish. So if we're heading into our spring months, rat tail radish is the only one that will grow in that heat. Instead of eating the root, you're eating the seed pod. Tastes just like radish, just in a different form. So on this one, I'm adding a little bit more celosia just because it's going to be my salad greens. But I'm also putting in some squash, some golden summer squash, which are planted towards the front. Leafy greens generally need a little less light, so I planted it towards the back, and then my squash is at the front with full sun. On this one, I am going with the canned green lima, also known as thorough green. It's a bush lima bean, so it does great in vertical gardens, container gardens, and lima beans in particular really thrive in our hot, dry time of year, but they can also handle the humidity of summer. So it is a great pick for heading into our hotter months.
On the uppermost tier, I decided to go with Eleonora basil, which is a heat and humidity tolerant basil, along with some cheer and sunshine. I'm putting in Mexican sunflower, also known as tithonia, to attract pollinators and bring a little beauty to the green stalk. They make great cut flowers and the monarchs go crazy for them.
So in the next few months, I can expect these 3 square feet to offer me around 10 melons, a continual harvest of leafy greens for salads with the perpetual chard and the celosia, plus the rat tail radish to go in that. I'll also get roughly 5 pounds worth of lima beans from here, in addition to multiple batches of pesto, plus the squash, at least several meals worth, and I've got the tithonia for some beauty and pollinator attractors. That is a big bang for your buck in such a small space. Now, if you watch this next video coming up, I'm going to talk about even more ways for you to maximize your space in a small urban setting.